Hello, good morning. Well, it's morning for me, and welcome to today's live coding. So, if you've read the description of the YouTube video, you might know what we're doing today, and that is we are building a random emoji generator. All right, looks like all my streams are good. Fabulous. So you may be familiar with the idea of a random number generator, and this is the exact same thing, except we are doing emoji. And we are doing emoji with sort of semantic classes. Almost. I think it's arguable whether or not emoji have semantic classes or not. But what we will be doing is basically grouping the different types of emoji in a way that is useful for my ends, which I'm just not going to tell you what they are. It's a secret. TBA, to be announced. So let's jump right in. So here I have the full emoji list from the Unicode Consortium website, and that is linked in the YouTube description as well if you want to check it out. And you can see the ways that they have divided these. So smileys in emotion, face smiling, face affection. I honestly don't tend to use this for affection. I tend to use it for like pursed lips. Face with tongue, face and hands, hugging face, face neutral or skeptical, face sleepy, face unwell, lots of those, face with a hat, face with glasses, face concerned. These are still face concerned, face negative, face costume, and then the cat faces and the monkey faces. And then we're getting into sort of emotions and symbols. So the categories that we're going to be doing today, hey Luke, welcome, good to see you, are faces, bodies and gestures, people, by which I mean like the figures and like professions and stuff, animals, things, and symbols. And we're going to be using, also I changed my mic settings and I'm picking up a little bit of mouth noises now, so apologies if you hate that, and I can tweak it if it's an issue. Is this perchance.org text generator, because I don't especially want to do HTML. I'm not really a front-end person. I've got a lot of respect for front-end people, but not something I find particularly motivating. And I would say when I've tried to do front-end stuff, I've just found it deeply frustrating. Hello, Multi-Solutions. Good morning to you as well. Oh, also, I heard the very first cicadas of summer today, so I'm wearing my cicada earrings. They're like I think you also have them in the old world, but they're like a cyclical bug that comes out. We're not on the 17-year ones this year, so these are just the normal annual cicadas, but one of my favorite insects. Really love them. Very beautiful. Wonderful. I'm happy to have them. Okay. So this is the base generator that I'm going to be working with as a template and changing. The other thing that I want to be able to do that we can just modify this base generator to do is I don't just want to be able to generate emoji, I want to be able to generate a specific number of emoji. So the first thing I'm going to do is just say random emoji. That looks cool. And as you can see, this is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's done the thing where it updates automatically. Jiminy Cricket. Good morning, y'all. I've already had 2 coffees. And this is what it looks like full screen. How do I exit the full screen? I think I just have to go back. No. Edit? Yes. Okay. I've not worked with this interface much. So that's what it looks like. And then a generator subtitle for secret project. There we go. Which is what we're working on today. Blah, 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 stuff. And then this is the description down here. And I'm just going to say, this generator has errors. Yeah, I bet it does. I bet it is in indentation because I deleted badly. It's probably gonna be a tab. I'm gonna use tabs. Don't yell at me. Luke says, is the front end using glitch? I have no idea. Maybe. You'd have to ask the perchance folks that. So this is perchance, perchance.org. And I believe their support community is on Reddit, if you're a Reddit person, which I am not. Random emoji generator generates in the emoji in the semantic classes. Faces, bodies and gestures, people, animals, things, and symbols. There we go. Close enough. And then I'm just gonna wrap that line. Actually, I'm gonna wrap it a little bit tighter, just so we can all see it pretty good. Oh, that introduces a line break. Fun. Okay, I guess I don't want to do that. That looks right. Okay, fabulous. So the generator bit is specified here, which I think, okay, let's see. So this is HTML. Okay, so I'm guessing this is just raw HTML. What's this thing at the bottom? What did this say? Try typing iRoll 1 through 6 or list name, including the brackets above, and then press enter. Oh, is this just a way to generate? Let's try typing something here and see how this goes. Like I said, I haven't worked on this before. This, can I actually do that? I don't think I can. Okay, well, we're just gonna ignore that pan. Go away. Pane. Luke says, I made a few random generators in the past, so this might be useful from now on. Yeah. It seemed like a good solution for somebody who did not want to, like me, futz about with the front-end stuff. All right. So the output is a sentence. The sentence is, okay, so this looks like it's going to choose one of these, this or that. This is going to select something from the category animal, which is defined down here. That's these words. This is going to select something from the category adjective down here. What I find most interesting is this, the thing where it says range of 1 through 10. And if that's an ASCII range, that's not going to help us. But if that could be a Unicode range, sorry, my noise suppression caught my voice there, that would work really well, actually. So I'm just gonna, I don't have many of the Unicode endpoints memorized, so I'm just gonna try this and see how it goes. So let's do A through D. So Unicode endpoints are, let's get rid of all the rest of these sentences because I don't care about them. Peace. The generator has errors. Doesn't appear to have correct syntax, curly brackets. These ones are special characters in perchance. They're used to do all sorts of fancy stuff, which you can learn about in this tutorial. I would love a tutorial. Let me save this real quick first. Blah, blah, blah. So basically what I'm looking for here is the Unicode endpoints are a big list of endpoints in Unicode. I keep saying endpoints in Unicode in a way that I think is particularly unhelpful. But when you have an emoji in your text, the way it's represented in the underlying file is using one of these endpoints, and then it's changed, transmuted, transformed, replaced, depending on where that text is made by one of the images for that emoji. So this one is the Microsoft image. You can see that that's the one that's being used by the browser I'm using right now because I'm using Edge. I use Edge for streams because I don't use it for anything else. this one might be Twitter. Yeah, so the Twitter, Windows, Facebook, Google, and Apple. And then Samsung's Joy, I don't know what it is, Gmail or defunct. But anyway, a bunch of different, ways that different technology providers, I guess, have represented the same underlying emoji. And what Unicode says is that, hey, like, this is in the set of things, and it also provides a text description of what it should look like. So in this case, at the endpoint, U+1F496, this is the endpoint for sparkling heart. And then, if you're Google, you get to decide what sparkling heart looks like in your browser. So what the actual individual emoji look like is up to the tech companies, but what emoji there are is up to the Unicode Consortium. And the Unicode Consortium is made up of people who care about text characters, and mostly companies. So I think like Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Google, big tech companies are all part of the consortium. But they do emoji, but they also do things like, diacritics and, if a language that has a writing system that has not been used in a font, for example, needs a way to cross-operably represent their writing system, then they go to Unicode. Luke says, I have a soft spot for MSN style emojis. I know, it's just like, little blast from the past, right? It makes me think about like old message boards and people would have like the footer on their post where they're like, I'm outside gardening, and it was like a little animated plant that would like grow. I don't know. Sorry. Anyway, the endpoints themselves are organized, so you can see that kind of organized. Here we go from F496 to F497. So if instead of copying and pasting a bunch of individual emojis, I could use the endpoint span in the generator, it would save me a lot of time. And that's what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm hoping for. Usually that sort of span stuff is based on ASCII though, and ASCII is a subset of characters you might use while writing English. Yeah, right. We're here in the tutorial. All right, it looks like we can manipulate the probability of each of the roles, which is nice. Shorthand list to randomly select between a few items. The pipe character here often means or. So I think that's reasonable. Okay, and you can use the caret notation inside the pipe notation. Great. It's not going to be super helpful for us because we're going to have a pretty long list for every semantic class we could do. All right, is this just Perl? We can manually fix this by having two separate lists of animals, but that'd be a pain. Instead, we can just do this I am a animal by using the a curly block. The correct article, a an, will be chosen based on what's appropriate for the next word. All right, well, not only is it not Perl or ASCII, it is some sort of homebrewed thing. So I don't think we're going to be able to use this. So it looks like it only works for random lowercase letters in the sort of ASCII A through Z span, and random uppercase letters in the ASCII A through Z span, and then numbers. Yeah, okay, so I don't think we're going to be able to use this. Unfortunately, I thought that could be a big time saver, but I don't think it's going to be able to be. Plural form. Okay, so this is a built-in. All right, so it looks like, I don't entirely know what's underlying this, but it looks like there's a bunch of sort of like language things built into this already, which is nice. What about the infinitive and gerund tenses? I'm pretty sure that people usually talk about the infinitive and gerunds as moods and not tenses, but that's okay. I'm not going to be upset about them. Okay, and then, okay, so we have some specific properties, none of which are going to be helpful with emoji. Editor. a tester. This is a helpful panel that allows you to test out your lists and general perchance expressions if you've made a list of animal, called animal. Gotcha. Okay, so this just shows you what it looks like while you're working in the thing. And this is the bit that converts it to HTML. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about where we are. And I think we're going to have to, oh wait, sorry, that is that page. Cool. Okay, so this looks like it's ASCII based. I don't think we're going to be able to, unfortunately, where's the, can I get to the errors? I cannot get to the errors. Interesting. And it looks like we've lost them even though we saved them. 10:09, 10:50. Oh, right, this is when I made it originally. I was like, 10:54. I don't remember doing that. That's in the future. It is, in fact, in the past. Okay. So, what I think we're going to want to do, can I get rid of this error box? Maybe close, there we go, and then back to edit, there we go, fabulous. I'm zoomed way in so y'all can see pretty good. So you will also notice that we have here this block. There must be invalid curly brace in cap. Interesting. Okay, so right now, this preview pane is out of, oh, one sec, I can turn on wrapping. Oh, so the preview pane right now is out of sync with where our text over here is. Okay, so if I turn off auto and then reload, okay, so you can see that we're getting errors about the thing that we did when we did the Unicode thing, where we tried those Unicode endpoints in the text and got an error because I didn't realize that the A through Z and 1 through 3 things were built into this language. So those are not going to be super flexible for us, I don't think. I'm just going to reload the page, maybe that might work. I'm pretty sure we used a back button. There we go. Okay, that was it. Reloading the page worked. Fabulous. And can I just wrap this? There we go. Fabulous. All right, so we should be able to say something like 1 through 10, and that should work. Let's reload this. Let's save. Randomize. Let's reload. Okay, fabulous. We are back to a working state by undoing everything. Patrick says, what about including emoji literals in a list? Yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. And I'm going to be honest, it's, I was hoping I could be smart and avoid having to copy and paste a bunch, but I think that we're going to have to copy and paste a bunch. And I think we're also probably going to have to not use this, because you can see if you sort of copy this as a data structure that it is tabular, and most of the table is, it's probably what, like a JPEG. I'm going to open this in a new tab. It's a very long URL, but anyway, so most of this is actually images. Yeah, so I think what we're probably going to end up doing is once we get everything set up with all of our semantic classes, I'm just going to go find a way to copy lists of emoji, and that's how I'm going to do it. So some things that I want to do here, we have output sentence, and I'm actually going to call this output 1. Now I'm going to start breaking it again, and then we'll fix it and unbreak it. Patrick says, maybe not all of Unicode. Maybe my absolute least favorite Unicode character is non-breaking space, because it has caused me hours and hours of heartache and hardship. And I understand that there are languages where it is important, and if you write one of those languages, I don't have beef with you. It's the character. Pain in the tuchus. All right, so output one, and I'm going to select this from, if I look at my list of things, we're going to start with faces. Wait one sec. If I just do animal here, does it work? So I think what I may need to do, yeah, okay. So what I was doing is I was trying to select directly into this list of things to choose to generate from, but I think that the output has to take something that's already generated. So I'm gonna I'm gonna call this faces. Yes, okay, and then I'm gonna, okay, so I'm gonna have to call this, wow, okay, one sec, I'm trying to make my life easier by using good variable names. Generated face, I think, is what I'm gonna do, because I'm pretty sure this randomize will run this multiple times. So I'm gonna say that this does face, and then the face should just be a list of, and let's collapse and delete all these. RIP. Okay, so I think what we need here is just like a list of face emojis, and for the, you know, first little testing thing, I'm just gonna copy and paste a couple. So we got like lol, I think this is the persevering face. Make sure that's indented. And then, you know, what's that one? The downcast face with sweat. And then let's do this loudly crying face. Some people call that the sobbing face. And then let's just do one of the happy ones just to give it a little balance. Let's do squinting face with tongue. So what should happen now is we should, when we hit randomize, the output faces should ask for a generated face, and then the generated face should select one item from these faces with equal probability. Let's try reload. Let's save and then reload. Oh, syntax error. There's a problem. Join. Here's the message. Cannot read properties of undefined. Reading select many. Your list names are case sensitive. Okay. What if I add, what if I add some more text so it's not just the generated text? Let's try hard reload, see how that goes. No, same error. Interesting. Generate face, face. What if I adjust the probabilities of all of them? In lists or HTML, there's a problem with the syntax of the join items, item separator. Select many. Okay, so output. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have renamed output. I see. All right. And then if I say like, I want 3 of them. Nice. Fabulous. Okay, we're cooking with gas now. Let's pop down here into the HTML. So I think that I could get away with this if I adjusted this. The source of the error. So now that we've done that, we should get the same error again. And if we change both of them, All right, good, good, good. Patrick says flexing emoji. Yeah. All right, we're good to go. Oh, I should remove these, which are changing the probability. I'm getting a, I actually should get here today. I ordered a, like a squishy mat so I can put my mug down and not have it go clunk into the audio. All right, fabulous. So I think that's more or less done for the first bit. So I'm going to try and find a list of all face emoji. Now, I may get into a little bit of trouble here because there was fairly recently a all emoji meanings, blah 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 blah. Copyable list of all face emojis, maybe. Let's see. Are you an image or are you a character? Because that's gonna be the issue. Yeah, this goes. Okay, so all right, yeah, I can already see some of the issues. So this one here that is missing, so I also have it open on a Firefox tab, is the smiling face with single tear. I think that's what it's called, which came out relatively recently. And then this one is the smiling face wearing a pair of like funny disguised glasses. So these are characters. That's great. We can see that because this is tofu, and this is the character that you get if your font pack doesn't support the Unicode character, which is good. But what this means is if I include those characters and then somebody tries to use this generator on Edge, which is the browser I'm using right now, they're just going to get a random box. And I don't care. Yeah, I'm not that worried about that. So let's a little copy pasty, and then we're gonna have to format this because I know for a fact that's not gonna work. Yeah, it does it? Could I do this with a script? Yes. Am I doing this with enough characters that I think it makes sense to do it? Let's see. Control, enter. Just gotta get my, yeah, you can see some of these are, I don't even know where this one is coming from because that's good on Chrome, right? It looked like the rest of them. Yeah, so that's that one. And then in this editor specifically, it looks like that. Fascinating, right? So it's like, no, it's this one. Pretty sure. Let me double check. Tears of Joy, question mark. Tears of Joy, question. Yeah, it's this one. So the like blushing face is showing up as an even different character. Joys of working with text data. So while I'm doing this, kind of boring and repetitive, how y'all doing? How your week's been going? Some people like the keyboard sounds and some people don't, and if you don't, I apologize. There's going to be a lot of it. And I don't care about leading or trailing spaces. It seems to have been removing them automatically, so I don't care. And this list didn't include the monkey faces, which I'm actually going to go hunt down because I do want the monkey faces. And it looks like this list is pretty... oh, it's got all the skin tones pulled out separate. There we are. Oh wait, do I have a category for animals? Patrick says this is very relaxing. I'm glad. I'm glad you are finding it relaxing. All right. Do I have a separate one for animals in my list? I do. Okay, so because they're in the animals, I'm not going to put them in the faces, and we'll just have in the final project, which is a secret, we'll just not consider the monkeys' faces. That's okay. I'm not upset about that. All right. So this is one. So if I'm like, I want 4 random face emojis, there they are. Or I want 10 random face emojis. There we are. And then this one is again, the tofu just means that the character isn't supported by my font pack, which in this case I think is Microsoft's fault. Oh, speaking of Microsoft's fault, Internet Explorer was fully deprecated today. Yeah, end of an era for sure. All right, so let me get this. I'm gonna add a little generating faces based on. And then we used getemoji.com to get all of our emoji. All right. Luke says, rip IE, definitely. Multi-Solution says, thanks a lot, Rachel. My Spanish isn't that good. I can tell it's complimentary, so thank you. Luke says, I spent some time this afternoon demonstrating the pros and cons of GPT-3 and channeled your spirit and ethics. Oh, fabulous. Yeah, I mean, there's things it's good for, but also there's, you know, places I wouldn't choose to use it personally. Oh, right, no, that was right. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of these faces, actually all of them. So I'm just gonna copy and paste and do the same thing for our next semantic category, which was bodies and gestures. All right, let me see how they've organized it here. So we got food and drink, that'll go in objects, activity and sports, that'll go in ooh, will it? Some of these I would call bodies and or gestures, right? Like this set here that's together, I think could go in this category. Juggling could go in this category. None of these, non-emoji simple flags. New emojis. Okay, so these are all the various combiners, and you can see here that again, this is one character. You can see I can't select just part of it, but it's missing the combiners. So Microsoft here has rendered these as 4 separate characters instead of 1. And let me actually see what it looks like on Chrome. Yeah, these are also not rendered, not Chrome, sorry, Firefox. These are also not correctly rendered on Firefox. These are correctly rendered on Firefox. Yep, that looks the same. These are all correctly rendered. Okay, and then the various combiners. Yeah, so these, again, this is one character. Emoji are great, I love emoji. Okay, and it looks like some of them have just been like slapped on the end there, and those are actually showing up for me on Firefox. So I believe this is polar bear, right? So you can see it's a single character. It's the bear with the combined with a snowflake. We have the I believe this is the trans flag. It's not rendering on either of them, but this is like the placard, gravestone, toothbrush, bucket, mouse trap maybe. It's like a box with cheese under it and a stick, plunger, windows, and mirror. So there's a lot of tofu in here. Yeah. Okay. Body. So those are the sports, but there should also be, yeah, here we go. This sort of like gestures and professions. And I am going to be using the default yellow color for these because I want it to work for people with multiple skin tones, and I don't want to just choose a random skin tone and be like, this stands for everybody, because that feels weird. So before I do that, actually, let me do the end section. What's this bit in the middle here do? Okay, so that's just some fanciness at the end. So I'm going to do a new section in here. And then this is going to be for not the faces, but bodies, gestures. ODIES, I'm pretty sure that's right. Bodies, gestures, bodies, gestures. One sec, I'm going to be back in just a second. I told you it would just be a second. Okay, that should be a little bit better in terms of background noises. For bodies, it looks wrong, but I'm not gonna. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time second guessing myself, you know. Okay, so gestures and body parts. Do I want to include the body parts? So some of the ones that are missing here, let me scroll up and see if they're on Firefox. Yes, so this one that's missing here is the, like, you know, this sort of, I see it as an Italian hand gesture. I know that's pretty stereotypical, so my apologies if I have offended any people from Italy, but that's, you know, certainly in the US, that's what it's associated with, is being Italian. This is the anatomical heart, and these are the anatomical lungs. I think that I want whole bodies. That's going to sound weird, but yes, so I think these would be, for the thing that I'm doing this for, symbols. And yeah, I'm definitely making some, you know, things here. What's the word? I'm just making some executive decisions. All right, and then gestures, bodies and gestures. Yeah, I think I want all these. And some of these you can see, again, haven't been combined, right? So this is, this should be, I think, ungendered scientist. This should be female bride. This should be male bride, or I guess man wearing a wedding dress, woman wearing a wedding dress, ungendered wedding dress wearer. But yeah, and I think I want to avoid the, yeah, I think the family emojis I'm just gonna not do. So again, this is for a secret project, and I'm trying to decide what this will be like in the final thing that I'm doing. I think these make sense. These make sense. These make sense for sure. Do I want to include the gender distinctions? Is my question that I have, and I think I do. I think that makes sense. So again, you can see that these are, oh, that's gonna be an issue. So this little dot here, I think, is because these, so, okay, I know what's going on here. So these should be one character, right? This should be man with a cane, woman with a cane, person of neutral gender with a cane. But the combining character here is being seen as something that splits this into two characters. So instead of generating man with cane, person with cane, woman with cane, person with cane, man with cane, it would generate woman, half a combining character, and then cane separately. So that would, in fact, be a pretty big issue. So let me see, bodies and gestures, bodies and gestures. This one, I think it makes sense. I definitely want running. Will you let me control? Nope. I was trying to see if I could use control to select non-contiguous characters, but I cannot. And I think what I'm actually going to do is do the selecting in a separate screen, so I don't have to go back and forth. Luke says, that's how I see that emoji. I've been using it a lot in the last year or so, though I'm not Italian. Oh, bye, Patrick. Thank you for dropping in. Yeah. Okay, so looking at people and fantasy. Actually, I think we had a category for people. Let me double check our notes. People. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's a separate category for people, so I think it just only makes sense to do some of these. So let me take a peek. The ones that are like decidedly gestures, right? So bowing, the help desk one, the crossed arms one, the YMCA one, raising a hand, the symbol for deaf, that it's deaf in American Sign Language, facepalm, shrugging, shocked face. Yeah, I would say that these are all gestures. So I'm going to include these. Haircut. That's going to be fun. Massage. Sauna. Is a sauna a gesture? I'm going to say no. I'm going to do these ones. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna keep the non-gendered one because the other ones have that combining issue. Walking person, kneeling person, I think that makes sense. Running person, that makes sense. And then I don't know, I guess I'd call this person standing in the anatomical position, right? Like the Vitruvian Man, I think is what it's called. You know, anatomical position. You know. And then I'm going to include silhouette yelling, blank silhouette, 2 blank silhouettes, and then this is the embrace emoji, not the hugging face emoji. They're separate. All right. And then other gestures. Okay, so I think that's all the gestures. I think we're good to go. Time to start doing the thing. Enter. There we go. Again, I could do a script for this, but I'm going to do it so few times that I don't think it really makes sense. Yeah. All right, so now we should have, if we swoop this down, we should have 2. Oh. So when I did my section copying and pasting, I got 1 too many. Yeah, I see. All right. So let's remove this one in the middle, which is the page description. And that should fix that. There we go. And now when I randomize, I should get a gesture. I should get a jet. Oh, something's funky. All right. So it's the second section that I want to update. And it should say output number of items, output. That'll do it. Instead of output faces, it should say output bodies and gestures. And when I do that and it auto reloads, there we go. Give me -1. Give me 6. Fabulous. Okay. And I think I'm having another problem now where I'm using the same object twice, the same randomize button. And I think I might need... Is there a way for me to have them be separate buttons, or is it just sort of built in that it's always going to be like that, right? On click, update. Okay, so I think it's updating the whole page and not just the section. And I'm wondering if I can... Can I... Andre says, I suggest finding emoji in fonts files. Yeah, that could be another way of doing it. Right now we're using this getemoji.com website, which just lists them. Yeah, that definitely could also be another way of doing it. I mean, at this point, we're, what, 2/3 done? 1/3 done? How many did I say I was going to do? How many categories? yeah, they're done. So I'm just going to stick with what I'm doing now. But if I were going to expand this project, I think that would be a good thing. All right. So what I want to do is on click, I want to update just a single section. How do I do that? Let's try to find some HTML resources. HTML on click, update section. HTML on click attributes. That's what I'm looking for. On click. Okay, so update here is a function. Where is it defined? All right, this may not be something we can, let's see, per chance update function. It may have some like attributes that I can use. Let's see. Okay, so I'm looking at the tutorial in another tab. The advanced tutorial. Let's give that a shot. That might be what we're looking for at this point. Takes the place of you. Oh, okay. Noted. Dynamic notation, loops, debugging, frozen generator plugin, properties, referencing the same variable across multiple list, more generators, select one higher list, leaf nodes in your hierarchy. Length. So what I'm looking for is if I have multiple generators, can I get it so that the randomize button only does one of them at a time? Because otherwise it's going to be a pain in my butt. It's going to be an issue. Name Bob. We'll output. All right, let's check the examples. Execution order. Output. Right to chance, right to left. And button text. Importing, exporting. Let's see where we can find update in this page. Ooh, this may be the section. Let's see. Aha! This is exactly what I wanted. Multiple independent outputs. There we go. Little sip of water. Okay, so just as a reminder, our problem right now is, so we have 2 of 6, but if I randomize 6 of these, it also randomizes these. Let me do 2. And also the number is shared between them. So I want both the number and the randomize button to be independent. And then the, yeah, so I want this number of items, and I want this, where is it? Here, let me do this. This will make everybody's lives easier. That looks fine, that looks, oh, actually, I don't want an item separator. Sorry, this is like me getting a little bit sidetracked. But I've noticed that it includes an item separator, which I don't care about and I don't want because it's putting them on different lines. Where's item separator defined? Aha. It's nothing. No item separator. Can I just do that? Is that going to work? Is that going to break because it's an empty variable? Yeah, sure does. How about just a space? How about a space in double quotes? This is an HTML thing. HTML space tag. 4 easy ways to indicates a line break, how to put spaces in HTML. Separate text. Paragraph break. Reformatted text. Ah, here we go. Oh, so remember we just talked about how I don't like non-breaking spaces? I just used one. Sorry about it. Okay, that's fixed. Sorry, I got sidetracked. So what I want to do is these are now the same, right? So if I do 2 and then hit randomize there, these 2 fields are linked. I want them to be unlinked. I want them to be independent, and I want the other 4 that I'm going to make to also be independent. So that's what we found in the documentation. Great documentation. Thanks for chance.org, folks. I appreciate it. Block ID. Okay, so our outputs are separate, which is great. We've already done that. Okay, so we're going to need to... Okay, so all we need to do is add an ID to our elements. And then add that ID as a attribute, I think, to the update elements. Fabulous. Okay, easy peasy. So when we font size, margin, who did it do? Okay. I'm just going to paste it in here randomly. It is going to break. Yep. Okay. And so then the ID is going to be, I'm just going to put it here at the front, and I'm going to call it faces. And then I'm going to update faces. All right, so now if I do 6 of these, it should only do these. Yes, it works. Haha. And if I do 4 of these, it still does all of them because I haven't given this its own ID as well. So this one's going to be gestures. And then we're going to update just the gestures. All right, so now if I do 6 of these, I should get 6 of these. And if I do 2 of these, I should get 2 of these, and it works. Fabulous. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the button text. Update faces button text. I think, I'm pretty sure I can just, change that, right? Yeah, okay, I can just put the thing there. I don't have to. In fact, I can probably just that entirely because we're not going to need it. Yeah, I bet you do. Okay, sorry. So there was a variable there which we didn't need, so I removed it because instead of using the same text every time, I want to use different text every time. So I'm going to say generate gesture or body. Gestures. I'm just going to call it gestures, and I'm going to call this faces. And then if I want 6 faces and 2 gestures, I can do them separate. I haven't done the numbers yet. Okay. So the number of items, this value number of Problem with the inputs you provided, select menu function, period. The number should be numeric, i.e. it should be a number. Okay. So we've gotten the independent generation. Now I want the number to be different. I'm just trying to replace it every time it shows up in the text. Okay. How are we doing? We still got a syntax error? Let's save and then hard reload 4. Stay. Okay, so it looks like the issue is that right now, the stat value 0. Nothing is not enough faces. Number of faces equals 1. Style. Okay, so what this is doing here is it's an input box. It's has to be of type number. You could see like you can go up and down. So that's been generated because of the type it is. The placeholder is how many. So if we removed it, you can see we get the text. On input, number of faces. So this is where I'm setting the variable that I am referring to here. Is this because number of faces is I number of items? Yes, got it. So if I do this, my syntax error should go away. Fabulous. Okay, so the reason I was getting the syntax error is if I look at this, right? So on input, once I've put something in, then I take the number from that, and if it is 0, blank, or not a number, then I set that number to 1. But that only happens after I have input something. So before I've input something, that's just undefined. And the way that they get around it being undefined is that it is defined when the document is initialized the first time in this sort of like block of variables. So can I do this? Does this work in HTML? Can I multiple assignment? Please? No. All right, never mind. My Python folks are like, oh. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do for each of the things is we actually do have something for items, so I'm just gonna keep this here, and then we should have number of gestures, because we want gestures. All of these to be, when we open the generator for the first time, we want all of our, excuse me. That's better. I need to get an emergency mute button so that I don't have to click around to do it. One more sip of water. Okay, I think that's it. It feels like I inhaled a bit of fluff, like I can feel it in there. Anyway, okay, so we need to do this for all of them. So we've initialized it as 1, and now we want to make it so that people can interact with it. Number of gestures, number of gestures, number of gestures. All right. So now these should be independent. So I should be able to do 6 here and 2 here, and it should stay. Fabulous, we're good to go. So now we just need to rinse and repeat. We got 4 more to go. And I could, make a class, etc., but I don't want to. That's all it comes down to. I am feeling too lazy. All right, let me double check how it's going. Animals is our next one. Who doesn't love animals? As well as some hand editing. All right. Round 3 of 6. We're about halfway there. to get rid of all these for now. Peace out. And then output. I'm just gonna call this animals. I do really like animals. And yeah, I know I'm gonna get a bunch of errors until I fix everything, but that's okay. Not an issue. Fix it together. It's not gonna take that long. We're only an hour in, and I think we've done all the hard part, and now we just need to like chill, get all the rest of it done, you know? All right, so Step 1, fix your indentation, girl. And then, so this is gonna be number of animals. We wanna make sure we initialize that as 1. Okay, and then we want to make sure that every place where we said gestures, we are now saying animals. Okay. Update warning. Yeah, I bet there is. I bet there's some stuff that I have messed up. That's okay. We'll unmess it up. Sorry, I was like, I'm having a pretty good day today in my internal dialogue, and I remember that we had a leak. So if you've ever, you know, lived somewhere and woken up to like a little bit of a sound of dripping water, and you're like, I don't like that, you'll know exactly what that's like. That's okay. All right, and I believe the syntax error here is because I ain't got no animals. So back to our thingadoo. And I believe they just had a category for animals, and as I remember looking through it, it looked pretty good, so I'm probably just gonna use that. All right, animals and nature. So not all of these are animals. I think pretty much up until the dragon counts. And we've got some tofu here. That's fine. We can fix that by using a different browser. It's probably gonna be the easiest. All right. Nope. Oop. I'm just going to delete that. So that was the problem with the combiners that I mentioned for the polar bear. Missed one? Missed another one. The heck is that? Oh, that's a scorpion. I could not tell what that was. This one with the like the little red thing on the tail. I don't work with the Microsoft font pack a whole bunch, so a lot of these are, especially when they're quite small, it's a little bit hard for me to tell what they are. Yeah, I'll bet it does. Oop. And here we have service dog. Black cat also have the combiner issues, so sorry, service dog and black cat, you will not be involved in this project, whatever it might be. All right, what's my errors? You have following input, number of animals. Gestures. Oh. That'll do it. Yeah, I was like, I thought I got everything. What I did not get was, so now we should get animals. Just 2 animals? Okay, ID is animals, it should update animals. Still, I'll do it. Why can I only click on it once? I have multiple animals, yeah. Syntax is right. I'm just getting the unicorn consistently. And if I got the unicorn like a couple times in a row, that wouldn't be weird. Something's funky. All right, let's see. It's something on the button, I can tell. Pretty sure it's something on the button. Okay, so animal section, update animals, animals, button says animals. So far, so good. How many? Number of animals, yeah. Output animals. Is it called output animals? It's called output animals, number of animals, join item, item separator, number of animals. number of animals. Let's save and hard reload and see how that goes. So if we have 2 faces, we have 3 gestures, and if we have 4 animals. Okay, so it works exclusively when we reload. But the button don't do nothing, and it is only for the animals that the button does nothing. So something's up. ID animals, update animals, right? What's different between here and here? Gestures, button, the font size, color, input type number, on input. Output animals, join items. I don't know what's different here. There must be something I'm just not noticing. Update animals. Is it an indentation issue? Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're closing that paragraph. Yeah, this all looks the same. Bodies, gestures, output animals, number of animals, items, separator. Okay, so maybe it's just that number of animals isn't updating. So let's number of animals, space there, space there. Okay, that might have been it. It was not. What if I do it like so? No. What about if I enter? No. Okay, it's something about the button. It is being correctly rendered as a button, so if my mouse is over it, you can see it turns into a little hand. Faces are working correctly. Animals are working not correctly. What I'm gonna do is, I think, I'm just gonna recopy and paste because I think I messed something up and I don't know what it was. So, rid of you entirely. Peace out. Do this. Paste. All right, so that, and I should say animals. Okay. And then from here, I want to make sure that what we're updating is the output of the animals, which is called output animals. Output animals. And then I want to base it on the number of animals, which should be set as 1 up here. I know it looks a little bit funky, but it's just because I'm zoomed in so far. Number of animals, number of animals, number of Okay, I think I found out what the problem was. Okay, now it should work. I mean, famous last words, but hey, okay, it doesn't. Huh. Well, this is very mysterious. Okay. So number of animals is now 1. Number of items is now 1. Text alignment, gestures, output animals, select many, gestures, select many, animals. Number of animals, number of faces, gestures, animals, faces, gestures, animals. And then all over a little bit, faces, gestures, animals. Okay. Animals, 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 gestures, 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 faces, faces, faces. Animals. Yeah. And in it is output animals, select many, number of animals, join items, item separator. And then output animals is coming from over here. Wait, did I accidentally delete a bunch of code? Oh, output animals. The IDE is actually just built into this generator, which is perchance.org. I just linked that in the chat for you. Yeah, so it's their homebrew IDE for this. Let's full screen this. Okay, so this works as intended. This works as intended. This is not working as intended. It also doesn't do anything when I change the number. Is it something about this? Is my syntax wrong somewhere in here? I know I'm a little bit off the screen. I'm gonna try deleting the tofu. And see if, oop, not that one. That one's an orangutan. And see if maybe that helps. Maybe there's an issue with a character in the generator, because the code looks the same for me across all of these items, yeah? Did I somehow introduce... What if I reorder them? Is it something about the ordering? So if I put animals at the top, yeah, I know. What are my warnings? List on line 219 that has the same Yes. Okay, I think I know what the issue is here. I should have read the warnings first. The issue here is that animals here and animals here is the same thing, whereas, you know, face was instead faces and body gestures was instead body gesture. So I'm gonna instead call this animals section. And then I'm gonna do them all like that just to avoid giving myself a problem in the future. Okay, so the issue was it was trying to update the list in the section. Bad variable naming. I got by myself, I guess. All right, so now it should work. Yeah, okay, fabulous. And if I want 3 of these, and then 2 of these, and then 6 of these, I can get them. Fabulous. All right. Noted. Okay, so it just happened to be that this was the first time where that showed up as a thing. Fabulous. All right, so we are halfway through, and I am getting hungry. It's lunchtime. That's okay. We can power through and finish this up. Because the next 3 were 1, 2, 3, 4. People is the next one. So this is, I'm thinking this is going to be things like professions, things that, you know, all right, and I'm going to get a bunch of errors when I deal with this. So people, this, paste that, add this up here. Number of people, I'm going to set it to 1 as the default, copy that so I do it throughout. Would this be easier in a more fully featured IDE? Yeah, but I mean, this is very usable and works for what I'm working it for, so I don't mind that much. Not a big issue. And then the output here should be, so this should probably be output people. That's what I'm going to call this. And then, yeah, I know, friend. And then the other thing that I wanted to do is, instead of number of animals here, this should be number of people. And I think that should be good. All right, so use the same syntax, generated people. So this is the variable that's passed the output to be rendered. This is where the randomization is being done. Here's my list. And then people. And so I'm going to put my list of emoji. Lots of hand editing on this one. And these are just notes about how I got this particular list. So let's go back to our copy and pasty thing. So to start with, like I mentioned, I'm interested in sort of activities and professions. So I'm going to include all of these. So these are like sports things. Oh my God, they all have a combiner issue. So we're not going to do the gendered ones. We're just going to have to go through and delete all of them. That's okay. It doesn't matter a whole lot for my application, which I'd be interested to see if anybody can guess what I'm doing. Fencing one isn't gendered? That makes sense. Everybody looks the same in alumni. That's not entirely true, but it's not exactly a strongly gendered garment. Hot as hell though, you sweat like a pig. Or I guess not like a pig because pigs don't sweat, but you do sweat quite a lot in them. Okay, so that's the sports, and I'm just gonna do the ungendered juggler. Beans. Okay, which one of you is gonna be the default? This one maybe? Yeah, that works. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the documentation. So I'm looking for people doing things. So I think taking a bath definitely counts. And then we're into symbols and stuff. I'm not doing flags. I'm not doing these extra ones down at the bottom because there's obviously combiner issues, so they're not going to render properly. And I'm going to take a big chunk from, again, I'm using the yellow skin tone just as a sort of a default here. We did none of these. How many of these did we do in the bodies and gestures? I don't think really. Yeah, we only did the ones that are like clearly, you know, have some sort of action to them. So for like profession things, I think this makes sense. And I'm going to have to delete a lot of these. I can tell you already. Yeah. I'm playing a little bit fast and loose here. Oh, all right. This one, these ones are the hairstyle ones. And actually, I'm just going to delete entirely. I don't know that I need them. Also, I don't know where that sort of ringing sound is coming from in my audio, but apologies if it's bothering you. It may just be in my monitor. That'd be great. Wow, there's a lot of these where the... So I'm looking for any of these where the combiner is being rendered properly, and it is basically none of them. Fabulous. Okay, here we go. A sword by hand. Wizards. Who doesn't love wizards? Genie, merperson. That's sort of like an occupation. Fairy, angel, pregnant person, breastfeeding person. Okay, so those are people. And then are there any other sort of like professions that are going to work and render properly? Unfortunately, I think most of them are just not going to render properly, period. So we got all the sports ones. We're good there. Yeah. Okay, I think those are good. So pretty much done with those. Now we just need to go through and correct the syntax. Next one. We're picking up momentum now. I think it'll probably be another 15 minutes. Okay. And I think that should work. I think we got it all. So let's full screen this bad boy, see how it goes. Okay, that's so it has the text generated people, and in fact not my generated people. So let's see if we can fix that. That's not great. Output people, generated people, generated people. Okay, yeah. That should fix that. Yep, there we go. Oop. The text still says animals. I mean, technically correct, but not that helpful. People. All right, so we have done faces, bodies and gestures, people, animal. Next up is things. So I'm gonna call these items because I already have something called items. Not that one. Okay, I can just do this and avoid having to copy and paste the very long list of things, huh? Missing many professions due to issues with combined characters. Okay. And then finally, not finally, we have one more after this, which is symbols, which I think will be quite fun for the thing that I'm doing. So items, 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 items. All right. And then we're going to do a new section here. This one, correct my indentation. We're getting into the swing of it. Rachel, this is super duper repetitive. And you know what, you're right. It is. I could probably spend a little bit longer and make this a little bit modular, but I expect to do this once ever for reasons that I'm pretty convinced by. So I'm not that worried about it. Number of items we already have set here. Number of items, number of items, item separator. Items. I'm saying / objects because this is going to be for like concrete things that you could like hold and touch, etc. Make sure I got everything. Item, output. Nope, I did not. It should in fact say output items and not output people. Otherwise, it's just going to give you pictures of people, which is not what we're looking for this section. Back to our emoji. Okay, so scroll. We're good here. I would say that some of these I would definitely count. So I'm just gonna go like so, and we can do them in here. Our body parts items. I mean, like I'd say a hearing aid is an item, right? Or like these things. Probably not like a lipstick print. That's not like an item. These I want to be things that you could like interact with. Scroll down a little bit. Clothing and accessories. Definitely items for sure. In they go. These are the skin tone modifiers, which I'm not caring about right now. The rest of the nature items, I would say, are definitely items. So we include those. Food and drink absolutely goes into the category. Objects that you would need to play sports with, except for the ones that are of people. So let's do those because we already included those in the people category. These. The nice things about the ones that aren't people is that they have way fewer combiners, so it should be much easier just to do things. All right, all of those. Travel and places. Yep, anything that's not symbolic, basically. In it goes. And some of these items will be locations, and I am okay with that. All right, and then these symbols are going to be in the symbol category. So I think we're pretty much good to go at this point. Now I just need to do a lot of this. Sorry about the noise. If I was someone who did audio production, that might be good to sample, maybe not, I don't know. I'm just gonna go back and correct the ones where I do an extra carriage return at the end. She said doing it now. Listen, sometimes I say I'm gonna do things and I don't do them. Not that often, but sometimes. Oh, no, that wasn't an error. It was in fact correct. We're into the food. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh my god, there's so many. Ooh, pancakes. I'm so hungry. Pancakes sound great right now. Getting there. Sports objects. I was like, you could do this as a macro, but imagine how badly this would mess up your code base if you accidentally spent it running in a code file and then committed it. Every character is a separate line. Ugh. Okay, we're getting there. We're into transportation now. At least the last time I checked, the least used emoji is a transportation emoji. It's the funicular. It's like the, it's like a cable car that goes in the sky, I think. Or is that the like tram that goes, I messed up again. The tram that goes just like at a very steep incline and is taken by cables. Oh, we're getting close. Get that one. Audio poison. Tools, yes. Actually, that one would be a duplicate, so I've removed the person in a bathtub because that is in the people category. I guess I could put the teddy bear in the people category as well, but I'm not going to. And the one that is, looks like a married couple is, I believe, emoji of dolls of a married couple and not a couple itself, so. Oh, get there, get there, get there, get there. There we go. Whew. Ah. All right. It's a couple. It's one or two. Scroll, 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 scroll. Thankfully, there's collapsing. Otherwise, I think we would all be. What if I want 8 of them? Fantastic. Yay. So good. Okay. And then I believe the last thing is fair amount of hand editing on this one as well. I'm going to remove the tips because I do not need them. I mean, I did. I appreciate that they were there, but it is not my not super helpful for me just at the moment. All right. And finally, symbols. And that'll be it. We'll be done with this this project. Not the last you'll see of it, though, hopefully. Trying to make sure I get the correct section. Okay, so first thing, and fix my indents. Symbol section. The symbol section, I thought they sat in the pit. little band kid joke there for you. Okay, and then the other things I need to do. Number of symbols equals 1. Okay. And then I'm going to need to put that every place where we talk about numbers of things, number of items, number of items, and that should be 1 right here as well. Yep, fabulous. And then I need to change this so that we are outputting. Wait, don't change nothing, don't change nothing. That was all right. I haven't copied and pasted it yet. This one came right from the Get Emoji website, because I'm just going to use their symbol section. Here we go. Output symbols generated symbols, generated symbols, items, symbols, and then finally symbols. All right, and I should also change the, did I do the button text on the previous one? Sure did. Okay, I need to change the button text as well. Here it is. Okay, call this symbols. All right, and then I'm gonna put in the symbols, and then we'll go through and do the last thing, but it shouldn't take quite so long. I am gonna exclude the clocks, so I think it's just not quite as useful for the thing that I'm doing that I refuse to tell you about. You'll find out. All right. Aw, pretty rainbow hearts. Happy Pride. Astrological symbols. Some characters that I do not know what they mean. Signs, emotion. I don't know what the difference is between those suns, but I'm going to assume that they're different. Street signs. The letter emojis and number emojis. Tape deck emojis. Mathematical symbols. Direction signs. Colored circles. Colored squares. Audio symbols. I do see there are two I messed up. And then games. All right, and that should be it. Except that it's not, because those are objects and not symbols. So what have I done? I probably generated symbols. I probably didn't put it in my HTML correctly. Let me see about that. Symbol section. Output, there we go. Yeah, I said it still said output items instead of output symbols. So if we wanted to generate 6 symbols, we could do that. All right. So full screen this. So if we had, we wanted 2 faces and 3 gestures and 1 animal and 14 people and 4 objects and let's just do 8 symbols. We could do all of them. All right, so there it is, the random emoji generator. And let me save. Very important that I save. And I think there's also a way to hear this. Is it in settings, maybe? Okay, so I can make it private, which makes me believe that it is currently not private. Let me try it in a different, yeah, there we go, a different thing. All right, so here it is. I guess I could have given you this at the start and you could have been interacting with it the whole time. Yeah, and I believe if you, so there's like an edit button at the top, and I believe if you edited it, it wouldn't edit this version, you would, fork and edit. Oh, I do actually, I want, one sec. I'm actually looking for a specific face. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, this one. All right. Yeah, there we go. We did it. So it took about an hour and a half. Not too bad. Really not too bad. Could have been, probably could have been faster if I had, well, I don't know that it could have been. I'm happy with that. I think it took a reasonable amount of time. It's done. You'll see it again for something. I'm doing something. Yeah. So thanks for joining. I hope you had a good time. This was just like a nice, fun little NLP project that I enjoyed. I would definitely recommend this website for building generators. It's perchance.org. It looks like they have sort of like a, I'm sure it's something, but like the syntax here is specific for this particular project thing. So you do have to dig a little bit into the, like I don't think you can use Perl, right? But you can also edit the HTML and then they host it. So thanks, I really appreciate that. And yeah, so I will be back tomorrow for our usual coffee chat talking about sort of news in HTML, in NLP and machine learning. We'll be doing that. And just a reminder, if you would like the links to everything that we're going to be talking about tomorrow, I mean, the video is free, but if you want the links, they are available to my Ko-fi supporters. So head on over to my Ko-fi if you are interested in supporting me. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining today. Had a good time. I hope you all did too. Yeah, you're very welcome, Gustavo. And I will see you all tomorrow for our coffee chat. I'll talk to you then. Bye.